welcome to Sustainable Stand Up. Thank you. It's really good to be here with all of you tonight, this afternoon. It's dark, so I'm thinking it's tonight, but it's 5:15 in the afternoon. Welcome. The Sustainable Stand Up is a course that gets taught all around the world. I forget 30 or 40 countries where this has happened. The brave people you're about to see tonight, who are not even slightly nervous at the back of the room, have been learning the incredible art of doing stand-up comedy about stuff that matters. So can we just give them a round of applause? My name is Tejo Parla. I'll be your MC for tonight. A bit about me. I'm a climate activist, an ordained Buddhist, and a stand-up comedian. So that means my definition of success in life is saving the planet, attaining supreme and perfect enlightenment, and doing both of those things via the easy and meandering path of stand-up comedy. So I need the meditation just to deal with the fucking pressure. So it's our job, everyone on the stage and everyone in the audience here tonight, please, because this is an end of course show, these are your friends, to fill the room with as much love and support and enthusiasm and laughter as we possibly can. And listen, I don't know if you know this, but there's actually research out there that says that people are afraid of doing stand-up comedy about as much, and sometimes slightly more than their fear of death. Just to get that in perspective. In a second, I'm going to ask you to make a game out of to cheer as people come onto the stage. Is everyone okay with the heat coming in? Hopefully it's not too hot in here. It's really, really, really hot out there. Are there any climate change deniers here tonight? If there are, I recommend going outside and waiting there for the next 75 minutes. We'll meet you in the bar afterwards and you can tell us all about it. It's really hot. The only thing I can't handle about climate change deniers, by the way, is the fact that 97% of scientists agree that climate change is real and bad and caused by humans, right? What gets me is the people who actually seriously say, yeah, but what about the other 3%? Who fucking cares, man? 97% should be an argument, should be a figure that wins any argument at all. Like, case in point, gentlemen in the room, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you discovered that your cock had become smaller by 97%. No matter how enormous your partner had told you it was, you'd be a bit disappointed, wouldn't you? And there wouldn't be a single man in this room going, yeah, but what about the other 3%? So that's my attempt to make that figure memorable. Sorry for the people who brought their kids. So I'm going to ask you all to welcome to the stage our first performer in a second. I'm just going to put this back in the mic stand. So I'm going to ask you all to practice something. So it goes like this. As I call the person to the stage, you, as they get closer and closer and closer to the microphone, you're cheering and clapping, and it gets louder and louder and louder. So we're going to do a practice run, okay? I want you to be as enthusiastic as you possibly can, so I'm going to make up a name, Kermit the Frog. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Kermit the Frog! So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen of the Butterfly Club, please welcome to the stage, Claire Bow!
Hi, how are we? Hi, I'm Claire, and I work as a purpose director. Fancy way of saying, I make sure that businesses use their power and influence for good. I'm a mum of 2 fab kids. I won't point them out, they're terrified. And I love to party. Yep, especially in my younger days. Younger me had 2 major things going on in life that will shape me to be the person I am here today without me even knowing it. So, I'm a student at Nottingham Business School by day, and I'm a techno warrior. Wait, picture it, kind of hippie meets punk meets new age traveller by night. As far as Maslow's hierarchy of needs is concerned, younger me puts psychedelics, dancing, and sticking my head in a really big speaker in with my most basic needs of water, shelter, and food. Somehow, Nottingham Business School and their 90s business curriculum didn't seem to support or even recognise my most fundamental needs. So, by day, I'm studying Porter's 5 forces to gain competitive advantage and grab market share. And by night, I'm connecting my 7 chakras in alignment with the universe and channeling unconditional love. Yep, it was a confusing time. And this was just the beginning of the universe deepening my understanding of unconditional love and deepening into my curiosity of the interconnected nature of life. So, the universe makes me a mum of 2 fabulous kids. Pre-kids, my other half, Adam, not here tonight, we were fun-loving, carefree, and seriously fiery. I mean, seriously fiery. I shit you not. On our wedding day, a volcano erupted in Iceland, grounded all of the flights across Western and Eastern Europe. Pre-kids, sex, it just happens, right? And it happens, get this, anywhere, at any time.
Yeah.
All it takes is one look. Yep, gone are the heydays of just looking at each other and getting pregnant. So, our first kid, Georgia, comes out of my womb, having done her due diligence and read all the baby books. Yep, she knows exactly what she wants, exactly when she wants it. I, on the other hand, haven't got a fucking idea what's going on. And, to be honest, I'm in a bit of a mess. So there's me, crying lots, Georgia screaming ferociously, and in walks Adam. And he says, "Oh, honey, what's wrong?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean, what's wrong? She didn't come with a bloody manual." And, of course, that's right. She didn't come with a manual. She is the manual, teaching me to be human.
Go Claire!
Georgia has taught me how to love unconditionally, how to be patient, if any of you know Georgia, seriously patient, and that having a messy room really is not the end of the world. So, just when life is getting spicy, I have one under one. The universe decides that it's time to step it up a gear. And in August 2009, William is born. That's right, we now have 2 under 2. And life is extra spicy and super weird. I still remember being congratulated by my grandma's friends who would say the weirdest things. They'd be like, "Oh, a girl and a boy. One of each. Wonderful. Perfect. You are clever." I think, yeah, not that I really tried to be. And so, yes, I guess we are clever. So not only have Adam and I managed to shift from free-loving partiers into parents of beautiful people, but I've managed to create a career out of my love for partying, my ability to see the world as a magical interconnected web, and my understanding of how business works and how it's collapsing our much needed life systems. So, I'm a purpose director. Yep. At a time when our collective purpose could not be clearer, what we need is purpose directors. We, as humans in this universe, we have a role to play to steward life, to stop our nasty, slow death in the hands of what is a very extractive capitalist system. And have a blast along the way, right?
Yeah!
After all, life is one big party. So, instead of finding the property world's outdated business models, theories, rules, a drag, I get excited. Weird, I know. I get excited. I see potential for systems transformation amidst a sea of blue suits and crisp white shirts on the client side and cool black t-shirts on the design side. That's where I thrive. That's where the magic happens. Like when Dave, the development manager, sees potential in thriving green spaces in his new retail development. Or when one of our designers, Stan, fights for connection to country with authenticity and respect that it deserves, and embeds it within our co-design process. And when Sally, our office manager, takes dress down day to the next level. She comes to work dressed as a mushroom. And she sits in every single client meeting just to get the message across that nature really deserves a seat at the table. So I like to sprinkle my magic fairy dust, metaphorically, of course, and to create irresistible energy fields that even the Porters and the Maslows of this world are attracted to. They lean in with curiosity, they start to see with new eyes, and have a desire to co-create the best party this world and our children will ever see. The Regeneration Party. So, you, me, my hubby, Adam, our kids, Dave, Stan, Sally, even Porter and Maslow are invited to the biggest party on earth. Woo! stands in sweet harmony with our beautiful living world. Who wants to join me? Thank you, Christina.
It's also really, really Melbourne, isn't it, this audience? I mean, you guys are really... I mean, this is the kind of audience that really cares about the climate issue, isn't it, right? Yeah. This is the kind of audience that respects, that believes in science and evidence and data, and some of you in the healing power of crystals. Face it, that's true. I know this audience. This is Melbourne. You go out on protest and it's like, what do you want? Almond latte! Yeah. Where do we want it? Now! Melbourne audience. I love Melbourne audience. We're going to keep it going and welcome to the stage the one, the beautiful, the one and only Dominique Hess!
My name's Dominique. I've been working in sustainability for the last 30 years.
Trendsetter.
Hopefully making a little bit of difference. I worry about climate change and I'm fascinated by the increased occurrence of unexpected events called black swans. But boy, is it hot tonight. Can I tell you I'm going through menopause? Am I in a climate? My inner climate is going through some change. I've got to tell you about it. But as much as my temperature is going up and down several times a day and night, makes me think Mother Earth has actually been going through her own menopause, right? Her own menopause for the last 200 odd years. Since we've been burning that black stuff. No, not the swans. Not the swans. The ancient trees underground. We've been burning those at a faster and faster rate. But they say, don't worry about it, Dominique. It's just a phase of life. Enjoy it. You'll get over it. But man, is it a bumpy ride. I tell you now. Oof, my husband particularly understands. But Mother Earth's bumps, those bumps, they're increasing. Unexpected events are increasing. Black swans are increasing. Maybe there's a correlation there. But I tell you what, I'm feeling so hot right now, like I was a swan in a sauna. So hot. Now, black swans. Where does that come from? Well, it was made up somewhere in the 1600s because there weren't any black swans. So it would never happen, like pigs flying backwards and all of that. So the first thing about a black swan. So, a black swan means that there's a huge unexpected consequence coming. Like that time I had a crush on a goth, all that hot sultry blackness. And, so yeah, big consequences. Unexpected, like my hot flushes. Or is it you out there in the black? I see you right there and right there. And the last one is that we do hindsight justification. Oh, that was an unexpected event. That was black swan, right? And it's those unexpected events that have been fascinating me lately because fake news, all of this clickbait stuff. The reason I'm holding this newspaper here to show you something that's just come on there. That's really using that hindsight justification and saying, for their own clickbait, for their own, this happened because, this happened because of that. Who remembers last year in winter when we were looking, and it's a bit funny that it's a really hot day today, so this won't work quite as well. We were looking at Europe and saying, oh, it's going to be the hottest summer ever. We're never going to survive the summer. I believed it. I've got 12 foot of mulch all over my yard. Or the time Donald Trump. Do we remember when Donald Trump spoke to Fox and he said, global warming's a hoax, because in 1920 we were talking about global freezing. Do you remember that? Well, there were some penguins, some mutant penguins that were listening to that. And so they thought, oh, global freezing, I like that. And so they're the reason the ice caps are melting. They're happy feet. Between the bad news and the clickbait newspapers and so forth, I've missed something Between the clickbait and all of the bad news, it feels like there's a tsunami of stuff going wrong, right? And I actually feel like I'm in a bad sci-fi movie, and I'm the leading lady. With a faulty script. Oh, with a faulty script. Perfect makeup. And a malfunctioning fan. But seriously, the reason that I do what I do is that I think we should turn all that despair around. There's lots of hope. We can work together, we're creative, we're innovative. In fact, we could look at those black swans as teaching opportunities. Why did that happen? What can we learn from that? What's happening with that? We should turn those black swan events around, and we should turn fake news around. For example, imagine the headlines. Climate change linked to a surge in menopause symptoms. You'll have politicians scrambling to draft up legislation to combat this new climate-induced menopause crisis. Suddenly there'll be national inquiries, research funding, task forces, a whole industry working on the correlation between CO2 levels and mood changes. I'm up for that. Harness those black swans, I say. Harness those black swans. Let's create beautiful projects, because those black swans, guess where they come from? Only from Australia.
Yeah.
So it's up to us, it's up to you. Let's all work together. Good night.
I admire not only the courage to do stand-up comedy, but the courage to say the word menopause and hold a picture of Peter Dutton up. That's just not right. It's just not right. It is quite memorable. So look, I'm going to keep this going. Oh, but it's certainly a black swan. I had to work that in, didn't I? It was a black swan event. Peter Dutton having menopause. I'm going to welcome to the stage the next person. I also blank.
Kate.
Woo!
So welcome to the stage, the wonderful, the talented Kate Dundas!
Hello, friends. Lovely tangle. Hello, I'm Kate. I work in sustainability, and I'm really curious as to how we might be able to cheat our way to sustainability utopia. And as you might be able to tell, I am also from Scotland. Yes. Now, I arrived in Australia about 13 years ago, thinking I'd left the cold behind. And little did I know, I'd end up living in a glorified cardboard box. Am I right? Now, it made me think, Australians, do you think insulation is cheating? Yes, in Scotland, we build our houses like we're preparing for a siege. And often we were. The Vikings are coming! The English are coming! I was actually born in England. Don't tell my dad. Yeah. So in Scotland, we've got thick walls, we've got insulation, we've got hydronic heating. But let's face it, it's always bloody freezing. So imagine my surprise when I landed in the land of sea, sun, surf, and single glazing. Honestly, the walls, I've seen thicker crusts on a pie than the walls of these houses. It's a very sweaty face. And temperature control. Anyone in here have a thermostat? Yes? Oh, we've got some fancy people in the audience. You'd think in a country where the weather swings more wildly than a kilt in a Highland jig, you'd have figured out insulation. But no, my house is basically a walk-in freezer with a sofa inside. So here I am putting on every single piece of clothing that I own, looking like a cross between a Michelin man and a tartan blanket, thinking, at least in summer it's going to be okay, yeah? Wrong. Summer comes around and my house turns into Satan's sauna. It's like trying to get to sleep on the surface of the sun. And the walls are so thin, the noise, honestly. My neighbour sneezes and I'm like, Margaret, bless you. And can you keep it down in there? I'm trying to boil a life in peace. But it's all part of the charm. All part of the charm. So, it's all part of the charm. I thought when I landed in Australia I'd be wrestling Crocs, not wrestling my duvet in a nightly battle against the elements. But here we are, living the dream in our beautiful, stylish, utterly impractical Aussie homes. Now to all my fellow Scots in the audience, when you're lying in bed at 3 a.m, sweating like I am right now, shivering, questioning your life choices, just remember, at least you're not bored. And to my Australians, I love your country, truly, but can we please invest in a wee bit of insulation? And insulation fans in the room, I promise it's not cheating. Now, the funny thing is, right, you don't insulate your houses, but you do insulate your fruit. Have you seen it? Those little plaster, like, insulated nets on, it's the bruisey fruit, like mangoes and pears. So another way I thought we might be able to cheat the system is to collect all those little nets up and stuff them inside our wall crevices. That might work. Yes! But there's probably a better way for cheating the system. How about we cheat it so we can get all of our fruit for free? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yes! We live in a country where fruit literally grows on trees. But we decide to go to the supermarket and buy it. I mean, the audacity of nature. Lemons, pears, apples, just dangling there for the taking. But I choose to go to the supermarket and spend $2 on a plastic wrapped apple that's been on more of a world tour than I have. Get this, the bureaucracy. I went to talk to my local council to suggest that we plant fruit trees in the street. You should have seen the reaction, honestly. It was like I'd suggested releasing wild haggis into the park. Honestly, it was like I'd suggested planting TNT, not apple trees. Imagine the chaos, Margaret! Lemons falling into eyeballs! Apples! Slip hazards on the street! It's a health and safety nightmare! In fact, it's highly illegal. I mean, honestly, the most important thing we've got to think about for the health and safety of the Australian public is not speeding vehicles, boiling to death in our houses because of climate change, women getting murdered. No, it's the errant apple, lurking, waiting for an unsuspecting pedestrian to slip on it. But just imagine if fruit trees lined our streets. We could wander to the tram, pick an apple. Think about getting the bus, pluck a peach. It'd be like living in the Garden of Eden. If Adam and Eve had to deal with bin day, try to get to sleep in Satan's sauna, and dodge the speeding traffic. Now, for any of you that are worried about the health and safety implications of fruit, I say this. I've navigated Glasgow on a Saturday night. If I can dodge a flying kebab, make it to the pub in horizontal rain, and survive hydronic heating in every home, I think we can all handle an apple on the floor. So here's to embracing a little bit of cheating. Here's to planting more trees and worrying less about the fruit that they bear. And here's to insulating our homes, because life's too short to not enjoy the little things, like free snacks from nature and a comfy home. Thank you, and good night!
So many things I enjoy about this. I mean, making energy efficiency funny, that's hard. I've worked with energy efficiency, I just go straight to, I can resize your heat pump. I love the fact that, don't you love that one where she says, don't tell my father? I'm like, really, your father was that absent? Oh. And I also love hearing anyone talk with a Glaswegian accent, right? Anything in a Glaswegian accent is just wonderful. For example, imagine Dr. Seuss, reading Dr. Seuss to your kids, and you're reading one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, and you're going, I took a look, I saw a nook, on his head he had a wee hook, on the hook had a wee book, on the book was how to cook. But a nook can read, so a nook can cook, so what good to a nook is a hook cookbook? Okay, now please go wild, go crazy for the one and only Ness Haga!
Hello, Melbourne. Hi. My name is Ness. I'm a nurse that works in operating theatres. I'm the Green Champion, and I'm an imposter. I am. You see, I'm not like most of you people. Okay. I still buy coffee in disposable coffee cups. I don't know how to ride a bike. I never even volunteered to be Green Champion. You see, it was a problem unwillingly thrust upon me, much like an STD. A visit from my mother. Or a Liberal government. I didn't even realise I was the Green Champion until the head of sustainability came up to me and said, I heard you were the guy. And I was like, what guy? And she said, Paul said you were the guy. And I was like, Paul said I was the guy? And she's like, are you the guy? And I was like, I guess I'm the guy. You see, what happened was that I complained to Paul about polystyrene cups in our department, and he interpreted that as me volunteering to fix everything. And I don't know why he put me up for this, because he knows me. He knows I'm not the sort of person that solves problems. 99% of the time, I am the problem. Forgive me, sorry. Guys, there's a reason I'm a nurse and not a public speaker. You see, I don't know how to fix environmental problems, okay? If someone has a low blood pressure, I can fix that. If someone's bleeding, I can fix that. The environment, I cannot fix that. Now, where I work, they call this role a green champion, which I find very unrealistic because I battled no one. There was no training montage of me lifting heavy trash bags. No Eye of the Tiger playing in the background. And I had no idea what to do. I had no idea how to approach this. And they told me I had to do something. So I thought, what's the most simple thing I can do? I did a training thing on waste management. And some people liked it. I mean, most couldn't give a shit. But there were like some people that really liked it, and they now think that I am impressive. Now, I had to chase that feeling. Friends like an anaphylactic reaction, drunken power. I labelled every single bin in our department, and now I'm banned from using the label maker. Gosh.
Goodness!
Obviously, as you guys can tell, my intimidation skills have grown so potent that my workmates have now lost the ability to read recycling signs. My workmates have started complaining a lot. I hear there's too much to do, there's too many bins, I don't have time for this. And I feel exactly the same way, especially when I hear about weather events, catastrophic, that absolutely no one saw coming. Some people are even deliberately going out of their way to mess up recycling, and I also understand that, because some days at work I also wish the apocalypse would hit just a little bit sooner. Some days I'm checking my watch and going, actually, right now. Mostly though, the biggest complaint my workmates have is that I'm just one person. I'm not going to make a difference. And from my background in nursing, I can tell you guys so many stories where one person is doing exactly what has made a difference. So to those naysayers and disbelievers out there, I say yes. Yes, we can give CPR to sustainability, okay? We can distract our sweet old confused consumerism with a cup of tea and some unfolded laundry. We can get analgesia for fossil fuels suspicious butt pain. And I think we can prove that everyone out there who doesn't want to be the guy, who doesn't think they should be trusted to be the guy, they can be the guy. And that we all have the potential to be at least a little bit a green champion. Thank you.